Hey you guys, I thought I would make a video of what I'm going to carry on the Superior hiking trail through hike. If you're not familiar with the SHT, it's about 300-ish miles. It runs from the northern part of Minnesota down into Duluth. But we'll start with the big three. This is my Gossamer Gear Mariposa. This is my tried and true with any trip over the, I'd say 4 or 5 days. This is usually my go-to. A lot of times I'll take my Gossamer Gear Gorilla instead. It's a little bit smaller, but I think this one carries better when I've got a little bit heavier loadout. My base weight for this trip is going to be right at about 16.5 pounds, and so with food and fuel and water, I'm going to be upwards of anywhere between probably 25 to 30 pounds. 30 would probably be the upper stretch. But I love this pack. I am going to try this new pouch on it. This is made by Chicken Tramper Ultralight Gear. I think I'm saying all that right. It's pretty waterproof, or it's supposed to be. It's got this waterproof zipper, so we'll see. I'll report back on that and let you know. The other thing in terms of the big three is my tent. This is the Z-Pax Duplex, which I need to get in here a little bit better, but it has the stakes already in there. I think I need to double check, but yeah, I can feel them. Those are the MSR groundhog stakes is what I carry. Sleeping bag, I will take my Katabatic 15-degree quilt. I think this is called the Flex. And I love this thing. I like having a quilt because it's a 15-degree bag. I may not need that low of a rating this entire trip. But if I don't, it's really easy since it unfolds itself into just like a blanket like this. It's really easy to just kind of have a leg hanging in and out of it. And I toss and turn a lot, and so it's great for that too, because if I'm really restless in a sleeping bag, sometimes I get all twisted up and it's not very comfortable. So I love having a quilt. It attaches to my sleeping pad. There's some attachment points, and I won't go into all that, but it has these straps that you clip it into. But this is the Thermarest Neo Air Ultralight, and I love that pad. I've used this thing for 5 years probably now, and it's held up really well. This is the Gossamer Gear Thin Light pad. This is like 1/8 of an inch thick, weighs next to nothing. Like if a light breeze blew through outside, it would probably carry it away. It's that light, but it just adds a really nice buffer to the ground on the bottom of your tent, and then the sleeping pad, it gives it a little bit more protection. And then I also love it for just breaks during the day. I can roll this thing out and sit down with my legs stretched out however I want to if I'm sitting down to eat lunch or whatnot. So I love it for that purpose too. It's a very tiny weight penalty for the benefit that it gives me. Probably ups the R value of that pad a tiny fraction, not much. My pillow, I am kind of a pillow princess. I love having a pillow. This is the Boundary Life pillow. It's just one of those inflatable ones you can get on Amazon. I will have my hiking poles. That's just a segment of one. It used to be I could really get through TSA carry-on with these poles if I separated them into sections versus just, unlocking them and pulling them down, telescoping them down. But TSA's got a little bit funny now with hiking poles, especially in the Asheville airport where I fly in and out of. They actually have a sign at the entrance saying no hiking poles, so they're on the lookout. Food bag, I'm going to take the Ursack. I don't want to have to fiddle with hanging food because I know that it's challenging in parts on this trail, and I'm also going to put my food in this op sack to try to keep it a little bit more odor-proof. Oh, and then the other thing with my sleep system, these are Goose Feet Gear down booties. They're my little Smurf shoes is what I call them, but I love those because my feet do get cold. Speaking of feet, we'll go over shoes. These are these are not my hiking shoes. These are my camp shoes. They're OOFOS, O-O-F-O-S. And if you're not familiar with OOFOS, acquaint yourself. These are like walking on clouds, truly. They're worth the 7 ounces. I hike in not Lone Peaks, Ultra Temps is what I use. I do wear gaiters. I don't wear Dirty Girls anymore. They just tend to tear up too fast for me. I've started to wear this company called Ultra Gam. But these are what my husband calls my Ruth Bader Ginsburg gaiters. They're Ruth Bader Ginsburg on them. So, anyway, I thought they were fun. This is my umbrella. Love this. Gossamer Gear makes it. It has an attachment system so I can put it on my shoulder straps, and my hands are free. It's brilliant. I love it. I use it way more than I use rain jackets. But if I do need a rain jacket, I wear the one. I have about 3 or 4 rain jackets, but this one for this trip is going to be the Lightheart Gear rain jacket, and I specifically chose this one because the pit zips are enormous. The thing I like about them is they zip all the way down my side, and I can actually put my arm out and then kind of zip and cinch it, And so it's like a sleeveless rain jacket, which sounds really goofy, but when it's hot, but I want to kind of protect my torso, it's a really nice way to ventilate my arms, and because I don't care if they get wet, because I hike usually in a sleeveless dress. This is my rain skirt. It's also made by Lightheart Gear, made of sil nylon as well. I don't love the skirt because when it gets wet, it clings to my legs and drives me nuts. But I take it anyway because I want some layer of protection, and I don't think I'm going to need rain pants on this trip. I hope not anyway. I do have pants though. These are something I read about in different forums, and they're made by Body Wrappers. It's like a ballerina brand of clothing. And so people who do ballet or any kind of dance probably wear them as like warm-up pants. They have a little elastic cuff. They're just made of nylon. They're like 23 bucks on Amazon, and they only weigh 3.5 ounces. So they're great wind protection, but also if it's a chilly morning but not raining, these would be great to wear just to keep my legs warm. Because what I hike in, I'll go to that next, is this dress. This is a Lightheart Gear dress, and Lightheart Gear is an Asheville-based company, but there's an online presence so you can get her stuff anywhere. Judy, the owner, or I think she now just retired, and her son runs it now, but a fabulous woman, wonderful company. I wear the Patagonia, I think it's called the Barely There bra. There's not a lot of support. If you are more endowed than I am, this is probably not enough for you, but for me it's fine. It doesn't have any wire, underwire, which I love because it's more comfortable. Sleep clothes, I've got a Smart Wool shirt. This is the 150. I think these are the 250 bottoms. Pretty simple merino wool. These gloves from OR, I've had them forever. They're called Versalite. I don't think they make them anymore, but why I love them so much is because there's a zippered pocket on the top, and they have an outer layer for wind protection. It's not great for rain. Rain's going to get through this pretty quickly, but if it's drizzly, it will work. I'm going to wear this little baseball cap if I need a hat. This will also go under my rain jacket if, you know, I'm wearing the rain hood. Sleep socks, just some darn tough socks, extra underwear. This bag is what I'm going to keep all my clothes in. I don't think I've covered this yet. It's made by Hill Sound Gear. It actually molds to the shape of your pack. I don't know if you could appreciate the shape of it, but it's not cylindrical. It's more, you know, in line with what the inside of a backpack looks like. So I liked it for that. And it's supposed to be waterproof. It's a waterproof zipper. So I'm going to put my clothes in one, and I have another one coming today in the mail that I'm going to put my sleeping bag and sleep clothes in. And those are going to be my stuff sacks, my primary stuff sacks. This is going to be my insulating layer, my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. It's not the hooded one, it's hoodless, but I've got this also if I need a hood, or my hat, which I'll show you in a minute. This is not a Melanzana. It's made by Lightheart Gear, another Lightheart Gear clothing item. But it's the same type of thing. It's that microgrid fleece. This was lighter than the Appalachian Gear hoodie that I normally wear that's made of alpaca, and I love it. I wear it all the time. But this was like 4 ounces lighter, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I think I'm going to love it. This is my Appalachian Gear Company alpaca beanie. I do love this, so that's going to be my hat. I wear Injinji socks. If you're familiar with Injinji, you know that they are toe socks. And if you're not familiar with toe socks, you're missing out if you have issues between your toes at all with rubbing and blisters or chafing. These will take care of all of that. So I do love these, and it's what I wear. They're not super durable. That's the one thing that I ding them for, is that I have to replace them more often than other socks. I carry Smart water bottles. Well, that's a knockoff one, but this size, liter. One will be for electrolytes if I need electrolytes. One will be just for plain water. Bandana. I always carry a bandana because when it's hot, I'm constantly wanting to mop my face because I get so sweaty. And I'll also have a buff too. I don't have a buff in this stuff because it's in my bathroom. I will carry a little pack towel. This thing weighs next to nothing, but I will be stopping along the way in a couple of like state park campgrounds or just even privately run campgrounds where I can take a shower. So I need a towel, and then in my resupply I'll have just tiny little bottles of shampoo and conditioner. I am probably going to wear this skirt on the plane instead of my hiking dress, just so I'll have one more piece of clothing like for towns, and then I'll wear my, this is an ex officio shirt. I've had this for years. It's a little bit heavy, but I love it, and I just am too attached to it to ever not use it. But I'll probably wear this on the plane, and then I would have taken this anyway because I would wear it over my Lightheart Gear dress if I need sleeves. And then I'm debating taking this little shirt, because it only weighs 3 ounces, just to have one more thing to wear, but I'll probably leave this at home. This is the merino wool made by Woolly. It's a new to me company, but I've worn the heck out of this thing this summer, and I've loved it. Electronics, I'm going to carry this Anchor power bank. It's a 13,000 milliamp, so it should recharge my phone several times. I'm going to carry this little Olight flashlight just as a backup, because I'll also have my BioLite. I think this is the 330. I love this headlamp because it's rechargeable, and I don't have to carry extra batteries. I can just recharge it with my power bank. But this thing has really lasted a long time, and all the associated octopus of cords, which, God willing, the right ones are all there. My first aid and repair kit. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds with this, but small supplies of ibuprofen, Tylenol, extra contacts, contact solution, fire kit. I always bring fire making materials, whether I build a fire or not. That's a survival, one of the essentials I'll never leave without. This is just repair stuff, super glue, needles, floss if I need anything, a little bit of repair tape. Yeah, and then some flagging tape, that's for search and rescue, but I'll probably just leave it in there because it probably weighs a gram. An extra mask. Since I'm flying, I'm going to wear a KN95 mask on the plane because I'm one of the lucky few who's not gotten COVID yet, knock on wood. And then headphones, just little things like that. I'll probably not use those much. Lip balm, sunscreen, my attachment system for my umbrella. Water filter, I use the Sawyer Squeeze. That's my go-to for water filtration. And I use this Canuck or Ceanock. I never know how to say the company, but I love this 2-liter Vecto. It's kind of grungy right now because it has this wide mouth opening and it makes it easy to collect water. But then I also carry if I can get it out of here, a little dip cup made from one of the Sawyer bags. I just cut off half of it, and then that's great for like low flowing sources. That's hard to get this thing because it's a little bit unwieldy. So I use this instead sometimes. Trowel. I don't think I'm going to need a trowel much. There's latrines at all the backcountry sites. This is such a well-maintained trail. I'm so excited about that. And then I don't usually take toilet paper anymore. I take these little compressed towels. You just put water on them, and they blow up into like a paper towel durable, like toilet paper. So I'll use that instead. And I love my Kula cloth. If you're not familiar with a Kula cloth, it's just a pee rag. And it takes the place of toilet paper, and it's reusable. They get stinky after a while, but you do wash them in town. But it's great because I can just hang it and clip it onto my hip belt, and then I've got it right there. And you can even make it more discreet by snapping it, and nobody even knows what it is. Well, probably most people know nowadays. But Gooder sunglasses, love them, always have them. And let's see, Garmin InReach Mini. This is mainly to message my husband in camp each night to tell him I'm okay. If I don't have cell service, and it also has the SOS button. If you're not familiar with this, that's the main reason I carry it. If I had a life-threatening emergency or I was lost without being able to find my way out, this is what I would press to get the help I need. Cook kit, I carry the BRS little number from Amazon, the little stove. I won't take it out. It only weighs 15 grams, super lightweight. It's not as fuel efficient as, say, like an MSR Pocket Rocket or one of these more expensive stoves. The Soda Windmaster is another good one. They're a little heavier, but for 15 bucks, I think is what I paid for this. It cannot be beat, and it's great. I will have to get fuel once I land because you can't carry it on the plane, whether it's checked or in your on-board, carry-on stuff. This is the little hot lips thing that goes onto the cup that came with my little titanium pot. Otherwise, I will burn the heck out of my lips if I'm trying to drink coffee without it. And then I had this little cozy that a friend of mine made me. And this just has like pot holder material on the inside of it. And so as I'm soaking my meals, my dinner that I put boiling water in, this will keep it nice and warm. So this is my Sea to Summit Spork. This is my little neck knife that I think I'll carry. I will carry this little pouch that has extra leukotape, some postcard stamps. I like sending postcards. Has my little compass in it. I just usually use a tiny little clip-on compass for a trip of this duration. And then I also have a little basic Swiss Army knife. I love this, especially for the scissors. It's great for the scissors. And then somewhere I have a wallet. There it is, Chicken Tramper Ultralight Gear. That's what my money and credit card, that kind of stuff will go in. Toiletries are in this little bag. It's just basic stuff. My glasses, contact solution, toothbrush, toothpaste. I won't carry all or take all that out. And the last thing I'm going to carry is my Superior Hiking Trail Data Book. This has got all the campsites and the mileage in between. It has all the elevation profiles. I've put notes in the back of it where I'm staying each night and kind of my proposed itinerary for each day. So it's a few ounces, but to me it's worth carrying. They do now sell a digital version, but since I already bought this and I've already got my notes in it, I'll just take it. And then this guidebook, I think what I'm going to do is rip the pages out and put them with my resupplies for each section I hike, or at least the pages that seem relevant. There are some topographical maps in here, and if I've got all the maps in this, I may not stop and buy a set of maps. That was my plan, was to stop tomorrow somewhere in an outfitter and buy the whole set of maps, but like 25 bucks, and if I've already got the book and it has what I need, I think I'm gonna save some money and just use this, but I'll let you know how that goes. I gotta look at it a little more carefully before I make that decision. That's it. Y'all have a good one and happy trails.